All right, guys, here at court, doing an ASD Rocks feed. You're going to have to speak loud.
Yes, I am.
I'm not.
The light still shines off my head.
It does, doesn't it? It doesn't matter where we go. So Steve and I are having a massive conversation about this kid that this whole one from this morning, and we're having a talk about how to get him into a new school successfully. So the point is, Stephen says, he started off by saying, I think you should find a new school immediately, and by the end of the holidays, I'm shaking. Can you hold it? Is that coffee you brought me, man? It's not that easy. Oh, that's very steady. So Stephen said, get him in straight away, because you don't want him at home doing homeschooling for the rest of the year. And then I said, but that doesn't give enough time to properly introduce all of the things that you need to do. And you're saying, and I'm saying, because you want to, if we're changing schools in the middle of the year, there are so many protocols that you need to go through to set it up for success. And you're saying that you can get them into school.
You can do it. You choose the school. You then just have the meetings with the school. This is before the student starts attending. The other part about it would also be find a hook, which is which is the term I use.
Hook. Not a hooker.
No, something the student likes doing, something the child likes doing. Just have him integrating into that, even if it's walking
at the school,
either at the school or towards the school. Even if it's walking the dog to the school gate every day. So we start getting back to we're going to school.
Yeah.
Because we're doing all that staying at home.
100%.
Go on.
The question is the difference between drip feeding a kid. So if a kid, firstly, one of the problems and the reason that we're leaving the last school is because the whole school know that kid, knows what the issues are. They're all against him. There's a preconceived notion. We don't want to set that up at the new school. And what I'm saying is, if we drip feed 1 day a week, 2 days a week, a child into a class that he may not be in the year because he might be staying down, or you do it in the if you're going to do it in the year below, I agree 100% with it. If that's the class he's going to be in with the next year, then I agree 100% with drip feeding him. So he goes down a year into year 3, finishes the year with the kids by drip feeding, then yes. But if you're going to do it into the same year level that you're in, then you're setting him up for failure, because the other kids will go, what's with that kid, he's weird.
Yeah, but it also depends on the size of the school, because what you can do is, rather than just drip feeding him and plonking him into one classroom, if you've got, depending on the size of the school, if you've got a school, and it's
getting awfully close, yeah. Awfully close.
Let's say like a local primary school, which has 6 grade 3s. He does a little bit of time in each grade 3.
Yeah.
And therefore he's integrating into the school,
100%.
Going back to going to school, understands that. But he's mixing with a whole lot of different kids. He's not staying long enough to cause major issues. And I don't mean that, it's negative, but he's not staying there long enough, and his timetable is such that he's doing the things he likes. He's got people that understand his needs and are working to support him, and it's only short periods of time. So he's in, has the fun, goes out.
If he's going into the year below, right? And this is the thing that you and I also are not 100% on. You're saying, if the kid's big, if he's tall, he's going to stick out like a sore thumb anyway. And depending on his grades and his levels, but I also think that keeping him down a year and keeping him in that primary school environment is only going to benefit him, because as he gets older, the kids will get more mature.
Yeah, but the problem, that's going to have to be on a
And a
individual
high school
basis.
level is like, yeah, but you have to plan for that.
Absolutely.
Like you can't repeat year 6.
Yeah.
You can only repeat year 5 and year 4, in year 3 and 2 and 1, whatever. But this kid's been suspended twice already in primary
Yeah, I get
school.
that, but we're now going to a different school and setting them up
For success.
success.
How do we do that?
Well, the issue with keeping him down, and that's a school-by-school basis, is a lot of schools, and over the time, schools have come to the realisation that if you can't, if you can't determine that keeping the student down is going to benefit them, it's going to be beneficial academically and socially, then the schools won't keep them
And that's
down.
that's what they said to me about Finn, and I fought tooth and nail. I called the district. Oh yeah, you don't tell me what to do with my child.
I'll show you what happens when you
Probably bloody spoke to you. Didn't even know it. And I was like, do you have a problem? And then I had a fight I had a fight with this woman. We ended up being
the first time
called.
you said fight, it was far angrier.
Fight. I did. This woman, she was absolutely appalling. This is the same woman who has a child with a disability. When she said about Bo going to mainstream high school, and she's like, and if he doesn't cope, you just pull him out. And I'm like, what? And she's like, well, yeah, I did with my kids. You just pull him out. Like, you just give up on them. I'm like, no, you don't. Now, you're right. But I charge you to find. Now, only hindsight will give you whether it was beneficial or not. You can't find evidence to say this is going to be beneficial for my kid to stay down. You just got to fight for it. That's what we do as parents. We fight for it. And what has it done? It was so beneficial. He flourished socially. He flourished. But I couldn't prove that before.
No, you're right. But Bo's...
No, this is Finn.
Oh, Finn, okay. All right.
I just said this woman said that about Bo.
All right, okay.
But this is Finn. I couldn't prove
it. But
and the school didn't want to do it and said exactly what you said.
And that's right. And remember, I'm coming from that.
Yeah. And I said.
But the problem you've got is each case is individual, and we can't
100%.
look at Finn and the student that you got that message about.
Absolutely.
Because the differences are enormous and the similarities are few.
True. However, statistics would say the similarities between two boys and girls, and the maturity levels of boys and their learning abilities are below the age levels of the girls.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So we already know that having a boy stay down in primary school, if it's a brand new school and there's no... Can you push my glasses up? They're falling. You're not on the lens, man. So, no, don't do it. So, you see what I'm saying? Like, well, sure, I can come up with statistics for reasons why we should start boys later, give boys, or any kid with any neurodiversity, or, I should have stayed down. I was the youngest kid in my class. I did not understand school. I practically failed. By the way, I can tell you how much it costs to get your VCE here. I didn't understand school. I didn't understand socially. I didn't understand from an academic point. If your child isn't academic, right? If, like, Bo, the only reason that Bo didn't go up at the right time was because he had absolutely no social ability of understanding what the groups were. In the end, did that matter? No, because he's there in year 11 and still has no idea of the social groups that are going on. So did it actually help him? Yeah, I think it did, because he's older and he's learned more coping skills in that 1 year. And you know what? So did Finn. I don't think... I understand that it used to be a terrible thing, and kids didn't want to be held down. And you know why? Because parents, just like with police, and they say, ooh, I'll call the police, I'll get you, da, da, da. We're not setting them up to say, the police are the people you go to. The police are good people. we're threatening our children. If you don't do your homework, you'll have to stay down a year. And so it's got this stigma. That's all it is. But that's our generation.
That's right.
That's not the new generation.
Yeah, absolutely. Things change.
But it's our generation running the schools. And so you're saying, oh, well, no, there's no evidence. I think there's plenty of evidence, and you guys are choosing to ignore it because it used to be a stigma thing where, it doesn't help them socially and it doesn't help them educationally. Yeah, it does. It's just they're gone by the time you can get that feedback because you're not allowed to repeat year 6. Bam! Take that, Department of Education.
What's that?